Adding 12 inches has never been this easy, because in this video, I'm going to show you how to make your 5-foot welding table into a 6-foot welding table. I keep running out of space on my 5-foot welding table, so I just picked up this extension kit from TrueFocusLaser.com to make it even bigger. These extensions come in a 36, 48, or 60-inch length, and they come in a 1/4 inch, 3/8, or 1/2 inch thickness, so they can fit pretty much any table available. And I'm gonna show you how to build one yourself. We just need a few tools to build this extension. Just our welder, and then 4 of these ratcheting clamps. We'll also need an impact with a 3/8 Allen head and a 3/8 wrench. And don't forget at least 2 of these quick grip clamps that are at least 12 inches long. We've got our parts laid out on the table. This is a 12-inch by 36-inch extension that can bolt onto any table with sides that are at least 6 inches tall. This kit came with a top, a front lip, and a mounting plate that bolts to the side of the table, along with some support ribs and hardware to attach it. Now that we got everything laid out, let's get after it. I've got the extension top face down on our fixture table here, and I've lined all the holes up so I can just take a clamp and run it through the extension and through the tabletop. Then I'll be able to clamp these ribs down tightly. So we'll place our ribs here in the top and then take our back and put that into place, and we'll have a nice starting point to build off of. After those are on, we'll grab our side pieces and slip those in here, and then we can grab one of our clamps and try to hold everything together. And we're just gonna look to close up any gaps between this back plate and this front plate. If there are gaps in here, that'll just mean that this plate is not flat, so you don't want that on your extension. As long as there's no gaps in here, you're gonna have a perfectly flat surface. Now we've got all of our pieces together, so we're gonna be able to check everything, make sure there's no weird gaps, and then start welding. We'll grab our other ratcheting clamps, and we're gonna stick these all the way through our whole tabletop. Clamp everything nice and tight. These are gonna clamp down the ribs so we don't have any gaps throughout the center. We've got all of our clamps attached here. Everything's nice and tight, and we're gonna be able to start welding. I'm gonna start where I have this clamp at and make sure I have no gaps in here. And then I'll just be able to put a tack at the top and a tack at the bottom. And I'm gonna tack this rib to this back plate and then to this top. Add 3 or 4 tacks along it and make sure it's nice and tight. I've got that tacked, then I can just move this clamp down the line here and clamp everything together and do the same tacks as I go. Once we've got these 4 inner ribs tacked, we can take all of our clamps out. We got to clamp these sides on, so I just throw a clamp over the top and tighten it down. And then we're going to be closing up this gap along this corner and then making sure this outside edge is nice and flush. We've got all the pieces tacked together. Make sure there's no gaps anywhere that you can see, and then you're gonna wanna check, make sure this top is nice and flat against the table. There's no gaps anywhere around it. Once you have that, we can start welding out this entire extension. We've got our extension fully welded. So go ahead and grab yourself a buddy, because bolting this on is a 2-man job. We have to use these sleeves on the bolts because the head is a little bit too big to fit with this table thickness. So leave that sleeve on there and that'll locate and center the extension holes. I've got all 6 of our bolts in here. So we're gonna snug these down as tight as we can get them, where we can still just barely move this extension. With the bolts nice and snug, I wanna be able to tap this table and get it nice and perfectly flat with the top, and then tighten everything down. And just like that, we've made a 5-foot table into a 6-foot table with our nice 12-inch extension. If you learned something, be sure to leave a like, and we will see you in the next one.